"Anne, thou make a yeast of me," quoth to Will stoutly. "Thou wilt have sore bones and little pay, and that in short season." "Nay, good friend," said Robin Hood, "bottle thy anger, for the name 15 thee well. Little John shalt thou be called henceforth, and Little John shalt it be. So come, my merry men, we will prepare a christening feast for this fair infant." So, turning their backs upon the stream, they plunged into the forest once more, through which they traced their steps till they reached the spot where they dwelt in the depths of the woodland. There had they built huts and barks and branches of tree, and made couches of sweet rushes, spread over with skins of fallen deer. Here stood a great oak tree with branches spreading broadly about, beneath which was a seat of green moss, where Robin Hood was wont to sit at feast and at merry-making with his stout men about him. Here they found the rest of the band, some of whom had come in with a brace of fat daws. Then they all built great fires, and after a time roasted that daws and broached a barrel of humming ale. Then, when they feasted was all ready, they all sat down, but Robin placed Little John at his right hand, for he was henceforth to be the second in the band. Then, when the feast was done, Will stoutly spoke up. "It is now time, I ween, to Christian our bone baby. It is not so, merry boys?" And "Ay, ay!" cried all, laughing till the woods echoed with their mirth. "Then 7 spawners shall we have," quoth Will stoutly, and hunting among all the band he chose the 7 stoutest men of them all. "Now, by Saint Dunstan," cried Little John, spring to his feet, "more than one of you shall rue it an you lay finger upon me." But without a word they all ran upon him at once, seizing him by his legs and arms, and holding him tightly in spite of his struggles, and they bore him forth while all stood around to see the spot. Then one came forward who had been chosen to play the priest, because he had a bald crown, and in his hand he carried a brimming pot of ale. "Now, who bright is this baby?" asked he right soberly. "So do I," answered Will stoutly. "And what name callest thou him?" "Little John call I him." "Now, Little John," quoth the monk priest, "thou hast not lived heretofore, but only got thee along through the world. But henceforth thou wilt live indeed. Then thou livest, not thou wast called Little John Little, but know that thou dost live indeed, Little John, shalt thou be called, so Christian I thee." And at these last words he emptied the pot of ale upon Little John's head. Then all shouted with laughter as they saw the good brown ale stream over Little John's beard and sickle from the nose to chin, while his eyes blinked with the smart of it. At first he was of a bit to be angry, but found he could not, because the others were so merry, so he too laughed with the rest. Then Robin took his sweet, pretty baby, clothed him all anew, from top to toe, in Lincoln green, and gave him a good stout bow, and so made him a member of the merry band. And thus it was that Robin Hood became outlaw. Those a band of merry champions gathered around him, and those he gained his right-hand man, Little John. And so the prologue ends. And now I will tell how the Sheriff of Nottingham 3 times sought to take Robin Hood, and how he failed each time.